Test Drive with Graham Fletcher.
When you talk family sedans, a word that comes to mind all too often is boring. Well, this week on Test Drive, we look at a family sedan that is anything but. In fact, I've been like a kid in a candy store so far with this car. Now, this is the 1993 Taurus SHO. At the heart of the Taurus SHO is a totally new powertrain. The super high output engine, hence the SHO designation, produces 220 horses and 215 pounds-feet of torque. The difference being that the engine in the automatic SHO now displaces 3.2 litres. In order to attain the same sort of performance that the original manual SHO offered, Ford engineers bored the 3-litre engine out to 3.2 litres. The result is more torque at lower RPM. This means that this new engine is particularly well suited to the 4-speed automatic transmission. In terms of out-and-out performance, the automatic version loses nothing when compared to the manual car. Now that's something of a rarity. It's time for my favourite bit on Test Drive, especially with this car, because we're going to run it up to 100k, so hang on to your hats. And there you have it. We've just gone through the 100k mark in about 6.1 seconds, which for a family sedan is unbelievable. Man, no wonder I want to drive one of these cars as my own car. The only thing people will notice about this car is that the engine noise becomes rather apparent as you get up into the rev range. Now, to some it will be annoying, but to the vast majority its sweet song will be music to the ears. During the test I averaged a good 24 miles per gallon or 11.7 litres per 100 kilometres. The suspension on the SHO automatic is, as one might expect, firm, but that is not to say uncomfortable. Indeed, I found it to be the perfect blend between ride and handling. This SHO is handling the pylon test so easily, it's a cakewalk for it. And unlike so many other front-wheel drive cars, this thing isn't at all nose heavy. When we did the Maxima, it ploughed terribly. This thing is handling almost as well as the 325i, which was the fastest car we've ever taken through the pylon test. In short, a stellar job. The other item worthy of note are the Eagle GA tyres. They provide copious amounts of grip without being at all noisy. This SHO comes with anti-lock brakes, and this little demonstration will show you exactly why they are so good. 2 wheels on snow, 2 on tarmac, hit the brakes, and the car comes to a stop in a perfectly straight line. Without anti-lock brakes, we would have done a 180 and quite even a 360. During the brake test, we required just 118 feet to stop from 80k. The top brass at Ford have dubbed the automatic SHO the Executive Express. Now, having verified the Express portion of that nickname, it's time to see if the interior lives up to the executive bit. Inside, the SHO is well appointed. You'll find a complete set of power options, including mirrors, locks and windows, as well as 6-way power seats for both front passengers. Now, these seats also feature adjustments for lumbar support and 2 huge side bolsters that provide the much-needed lateral support. Unfortunately, in today's society, personal security has become an issue. Now, on the SHO, Ford have addressed that by adding a panic button to this remote. When you hit the button, all hell breaks loose. Now, the noise that thing generates should be enough to dissuade any would-be attacker and at least draw attention to your dilemma. The other thing, if you do happen to lose the car in the parking lot, it happens to be a mighty fine way of finding the car. The dash is clean, clear and analog in configuration, meaning that all information can be picked up at a glance when travelling at speed, something you have a tendency to do rather a lot of in this car. Just above and to the left of the climate controls are 3 auxiliary radio control buttons. They need these buttons because the radio is housed far too low down in the dash. The other thing is that despite the enormous aerial, AM reception is awful. Someone needs to trim the aerial to the radio. In the rear there is plenty of head and legroom and enough space for 3 adults. The trunk is simply enormous and therefore capable of carrying an entire family's luggage, but the lack of split folding seats is unacceptable in today's market. My pet peeve on the SHO is very simple. Every time you engage drive, this thing automatically locks all four doors. Now when the driver gets out, that's not a problem, because every time you reef on the handle, it automatically unlocks this door. But when you go to get groceries out of the back, this one's still locked. Now why they wouldn't use the technology to unlock the doors that they're using to lock them is beyond me. Now if they're telling me that this is a security issue, we've got the panic button. Leave the darn things unlocked. I know if I buy the car, I'm going to remove that module. Well, that's it for this week's test drive, except to say that I've got permission from She Who Must Be Obeyed to buy one of these things. The only thing I've got to wait for now are my lottery numbers. Next week on Test Drive, we look at the Eagle Summit. Every week on Test Drive, I have my pet peeve. Well, when I did the Taurus SHO, I inadvertently made a mountain out of a molehill. Roll that videotape, Mike. My pet peeve on the SHO is very simple. Every time you engage drive, this thing automatically locks all four doors. Now when the driver gets out, that's not a problem, because every time you reef on the handle, it automatically unlocks this door. But when you go to get groceries out of the back, this one's still locked. Now why they wouldn't use the technology to unlock the doors that they're using to lock them is beyond me. Now if they're telling me that this is a security issue, we've got the panic button. Leave the darn things unlocked. I know if I buy the car, I'm going to remove that module. Following that, Ford phoned and explained that had I read the owner's manual, I would have seen that the solution lay with the keypad and not the module.
To toggle between the auto lock feature, first thing we have to do is put in a 5-digit permanent security code. Next step is press 7-8 button, then the 3 and 4 button, release the 3 and 4 button, and then release the 7-8 button. And you'll toggle between auto lock feature enabled and disabled. We chose the keypad because for convenience purposes, it's a much better method of than having another module in the vehicle.
Well, thanks to George and all those at Ford Electronics Manufacturing Corporation in Markham, Ontario for setting me straight about the keyless entry system. Stick around, because when we come back we have a real treat. We're going to take a look at the General's latest and perhaps greatest hit.